To start off our second video of the Oklahoma GT counter, I just want to give you a little bit of the numbers and kind of the breakdown that I had of the GT counter this past year. Oklahoma ran the GT counter 111 times out of 15 different formations. They did a great job of game planning, getting extra bodies, finding ways to get guys' eyes out of where they needed to be and not filling the right gaps. So they ran in 15 different formations 111 times. They also had 6 different either motions, tags, shifts, different things where the quarterback was reading different areas, different levels. So they run it a lot of different ways, trying to confuse people, trying to get their eyes in the wrong spot, and did a really good job with it. The thing about the GT is probably tied or close to their #1 run. That inside zone I have down for both of those that they ran it 111 times. So I even have that they ran inside zone 111 times. Not sure how exactly accurate that is, but you can tell that it's pretty comparable as far as the number of reps and runs that they had with it this year, and an amazing rushing attack that they had, along with just an amazing offense. I know everybody thinks Lincoln Riley is an air raid guy, Mike Leach guy, so obviously they think they're going to be in 10 personnel a lot. Well, they are a little bit. They ran it about 33 times this year out of 10 personnel, whether it's doubles, whether it's trips, whatever it is. They only ran it 33 times, and that's 30% of the times they ran GT. So it's not one of those things where they're in 10 personnel and run GT a ton. They do run it, and it's definitely a good scheme, especially right here against the 6-man box, because they're able to read the backside in. So they're able to get 6-on-6 right here. But they really like to run it out of a lot of different sets. It's just an awesome example of the GT counter. And I'm just going to draw it up for you real quick just to make sure. We'll be back on the 3, we'll be down on the nose, the inside gap, the backside linebacker. Puller's going to kick. He's pulling for right there. Quarterback's got to read backside since it's a 4-man front. He knows he's got to read that. But anyway, I just want to put this one in here. 10 personnel, really textbook. You get a nice kick right there by the guard. Good kick there by the tackle. And we get exactly what we're looking for. We get a vertical lane running straight to the end zone. And that's what Oklahoma's able to get right here. Letting that running back get square on the second level so that he can have a 2-way cut on those safeties. Have another look at GT counter at 10 personnel. This time they're in trips. I always say 10 personnel, but a lot of times Oklahoma's actually in 11. Right here, this is Cagatera, their big tight end. That's probably going to be one of the best tight ends next year, come down the draft. But he's right there in the slot, so it's really 11 personnel, but they're in a 10 personnel set with no tight ends or just one back. So right here they run GT, and they run it to the weak side. They really like to run it to the weak side a lot out of trips. And what you can see right here is that both ends really squeeze. It's really a forefront, and both ends squeeze hard. The play side end really squeezes wrong shoulder. You can see what happens to that guard's shoulders. They get turned upfield. So that tackle reads those shoulders. Now he goes outside. He's still working, trying to kick out the next level with that play side backer. But he reads that and he gets outside, and you see that running back. If he would have got the ball right there, he would have been right behind that tackle. And of course, the quarterback right here reading the backside in, squeezing hard, shoulders get turned, and he's able to outrun him right here and creates 5 yards. And those guys are being overly aggressive. Oklahoma starts off in a 2-back set in twins with a fullback. They end up motioning out and getting to a 10 personnel set. What the quarterback's really looking at right here, he's looking for anybody to go with that guy. If they don't go, they're going to throw his key screen outside. If they do, they're going to run GT to the strong side. So right here again, it's a 4-2 box, so it's a 6-man box, and we can see what's going to take place. We're going to be back. He's inside. If that guy squeezes hard, he's going to take him. Then he's backside backer, kick, possibly, or C-gap defender, and then leading up in the hole. All right, we're going to see what takes place. All right, you can see play side in, squeezes hard. So right here, the play side tackle gets really good, strong arm outside, washes that guy down. We end up getting to the C-gap player right there, ends up being the backer, and then the guy that we're filling on ends up being the middle backer. All right, you can see the missile screen out there takes 3 for 3, so that's good. Now we have our numbers. Really good job right here by the center. If you can watch the center right here, he gets a little bit of a game here. They twist him a little bit, and you can see this end now becomes the first down lineman or first defender backside, and he ends up doing a good job of getting on him. He sees his guy go away, or the guy he thinks is his guy to go away to begin with, so he's able to slow play it, get a hand on that nose or that one tech, and then he's able to get backside on that end late. Gives up a little bit of penetration, but not bad. And then right here, the tackle doesn't quite get the kick right there. But right here, the running back's playing fast. He's falling forward, getting his shoulders passed down, getting 5 yards. Anytime you get 5 yards on a run right here, I believe it's first down, 1st and 10. So now it's 2nd and 5. So that's one of the reasons, one of the ways that they're so efficient on offense, just getting those 5 yards here and there, and then they're able to take their shots and get their one-on-ones with their really good skill guys on the outside. Next play we're going to look at is at a 20 personnel. Right here we got 3 front from Oklahoma State. Should be pretty concrete on what we're going to end up doing, but they can still move, they can still twist, do all that. But you're thinking the center's going to be backside there, guard's going to be down. Since he's in a 4-eye, it looks like he's going to be down there. If he slants to the outside, then he'll go all the way to the 3-3 stack look. Then he'll go to the middle. And then we're pulling the kick, probably going to be C-gap right there. Then probably leading, possibly middle stacker. This back safety right there on the 3rd level, that's pretty much a free hitter. But anyway, we'll play it and we'll look at it. Maybe they run it weak. All right, so the fullback, again, he's arcing right there to help for the quarterback in case it's a pull. You can see what takes place. We get a nice kick right there on that outside backer. C-gap player, obviously, gets a good kick. And right there, we get on him. Not really a kick, but he's square enough that we can get a cut. And then it gets back vertical to it. But right there, pretty interesting way that they run it. Quarterback probably could have gotten a pull just based off of alignment right here and knowing that they had numbers to the twin side and the fullback. So right there, could have been just like an automatic pull if you get that look, especially with a guy like Kyler Murray, because we have that guy taken care of. He's taken care of pretty much one-on-one with a guy like Kyler Murray on a safety. But they still give it and they get a good play just because the numbers are so good in the box. Whenever Oklahoma starts getting into their heavier sets with their 21 personnel with their tight end fullback, it's really when a lot of things kind of get interesting. You can see right here they have twins to the field, tight end fullback, and upside over there to the boundary. Those fullbacks and tight ends are really good football players. So I think this is one of the things that kind of sets Oklahoma apart, is that they can get in these heavy sets and still be really effective. And their rules, if they're on line right here, is just as, like they would if they were an old lineman. They're their inside gap to near backer. So right here, you can see they come down right there. Good wash by that fullback. You can see how far that guy goes. He takes that outside backer from the middle of the O right there all the way past the hash. Just washing those guys. Really good job by the O-line right there. Not great right here by the backside tackle, but you can see it looks like the guard ends up kicking a corner, which obviously that's probably what you want. If you're an O-line coach, it's always a fun play when you can get a guard onto a corner. And right here is what they get. He kind of goes low, trying to create some kind of a pile. But right here, running back's able to sneak through, getting short square right there on the safety, and doing what a running back should do, make that guy miss and get extra yards right there. That's where genetics kind of come into it. You can see up top, they have a bubble up there. They do that quite a bit with 2 and 3 receiver sets. But right here they have a bubble. Could have been a throw. Obviously, there's really no underneath coverage right there. The outside receiver is blocking number 1 threat, and that's the corner that's playing square. Could have thrown the bubble, but I think he's one of those things where it's pre-snap, and he knew he was going to have to read the end and ended up just reading the end and giving the ball right there. All right here we have the same play that we had the previous play. Exact same formation, same bubble down here at the bottom, same read, and I just want to give you guys a different look. Right here you can see they're getting smart. Those little guys, the safety corners, don't really want to take on those big guys, especially All-American guard, tackle, all that stuff. So they end up cutting, creating a pile. The running back does a good job of getting through that and get to the second level. Example from the Big 12 championship game. Oklahoma got into their pro twin set, and they decided, hey, we're going to run it. They put their tight end fullback right over there and didn't have any bubble. They didn't have anything with it. They just knew, hey, we're going to run it. We're going to try to get big. We're going to try to move these guys. That's what they ended up doing. Again, getting good kicks, and they end up almost scoring right here. We'll watch it one more time. Right there, washing down inside gaps, good kicks, getting vertical. Oh, nearly gets into the end zone. This is kind of an interesting look of how Oklahoma gets to their run right here. They motion a guy across, and then they start their running back in motion, and you can kind of see what it does to the defense right there. Gets him to widen, and they end up running GT right behind him. Might even have been the reason for that end, that walk down backer to kind of widen a little bit. Sees that guy widen, might be usually a guy that would peel on that, but then he realized that he also has to come down and try to squeeze, tries to cut that guy, try to create a pile. But it had already taken place that he saw that guy arc out there, took 1 or 2 steps laterally, and ended up getting kicked. All right, this play gets pretty interesting pretty quick. As you can see, they start off with a tight end and fullback, and they end up motioning or shifting those guys over there, where now they have a tight end and they have a wing. Now the next thing they do is they end up motioning their receiver from that side in behind the quarterback to a swing. All right, and they do this a lot with a bunch of different things, where they're running inside zone, GT, anything like that. They like this motion, okay? And what the quarterback's doing is he's reading this area in this space, looking for somebody to take that space, because you have one receiver out here who can take the corner, but what he's looking for is the next guy out there that has to take this guy here, okay? And whenever we look at it, you can see a lot of things take place. All right, the biggest thing you see is the guy that takes that is this inside backer. I'm not really a big-time defense coordinator. I'm not acting like I know what's going on defense, but I probably wouldn't say that this middle backer is the guy that's going to take that. There are 2 guys right here coming off the edge. One of them should have peeled on that. But what it does is it confuses him, and he gets out of the box. And now they ended up handing that thing inside with a lot of space and no backer right there to fill. So as you can see it again, they shift over to a tight end wing set, bring the receiver reading for space, and the middle backer slips out there to it, so he ends up giving that easy kick, almost a walk in, gets it down close to the end zone. That's a really easy play for those guys in the red zone. Try to create some kind of mismatch, and if that guy didn't go with him, and those guys off the edge didn't go with him either, didn't peel with him, then he's going to flip him out there and probably one-on-one with a safety. Here's another formation that the Sooners run their GT out of. This is in 12 personnel whenever they get their twins, or if they're in just normal ace, they almost exclusively run GT counter. There really wasn't any other play other than maybe throwing a hitch outside or something like that. For the most part, when they got in 12 personnel, they ran GT counter, either strong, weak, really didn't matter. They ended up running GT counter every single time, but we'll kind of give you a look. Again, same rules for the tight end, inside gap to near backer. Right here, he ends up washing a guy. They get the edge right there, kick, lead, running back getting vertical. All right, now they're in an ace set, and they have a pretty interesting tag that they've been running for the past couple years. Right here, they bring their receiver in motion. They're really not faking a jet sweep. They gave jet sweep only once this year. But what they're doing again is almost like that swing when they brought that guy behind the quarterback. Now he's just going in front. It gives them kind of a couple different options. They could be faking the jet sweep, or they could still read it to flip the ball out there to them. Right here you can see they're reading outside, and Oklahoma State rolls basically 2 guys down to it. So right now they're taking 3 guys with their 2. But anyway, same rules up front for the GT. You get a good kick right there, again getting vertical. Starting off wide, then getting vertical, pressing those guards, tackles, sees their shoulder stays square to sideline, gets vertical, again makes a guy miss for a big play. Here's the second part of that option that we just talked about. They're in the same formation, bringing the same guy in motion. Hollywood Brown, one of the fastest dudes alive. He's a lot like old McLovin, the fastest kid around. Anyway, they snap the ball. They see that there's really no defender really running to take that guy. This guy's getting upfield, nobody really going right there. So they end up flipping that ball out there, still running GT up front. Looks like outside receivers push cracking, thinking that he's going to crack that outside backer. Probably should have just ran that guy off. Looks like it's man-to-man. But right there, doesn't see anybody really running. Flips it out there to him. Fastest guy in space, and he gets a free 10 just off of a swing. That's just some of the ways. I mean, you think about how efficient that is. That's a really easy throw. Most guys are going to be able to make that throw, and that's 11 yards. Whenever you have guys in that much speed and then, motion, different things like that, sometimes you can find a way to get those guys free, and that's what they did here. That's it for Coach's Caviar this time. Next time we'll talk about Oklahoma and their mesh concept and how they run that. Huge shout out to Coach Jones. Became the new head coach at El Dorado. He can dance a lot like Baker Mayfield, so if you're down at El Dorado, hit him up. He'll show you.